Hello and welcome to Good Spanish. Get good at it. Short and easy tutorials for Spanish lovers. In Lesson 6, Lección 6, we are going to practice our second conversation, Conversación 2. So let's get started. In this lesson, we are going to practice a few formal conversations. Let's have a look at this conversation. Let's say it's between you and your teacher, Miss Jenny. Now please recall, formal conversations depend on time of the day. Now you are going to start the conversation and it is 10 a.m. So you have to start with a proper greeting. And how do you say that? You say, Buenos días. Buenos días. ¿Cómo está, señorita Jenny? Now please note, ¿Cómo está is the formal way of asking how are you. It can be used as ¿Cómo está or ¿Cómo está, señorita? Because you happen to know the surname, you can say ¿Cómo está, señorita Jenny? Now, she is going to reply, Bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Good. Thank you. And you? Now please note, gracias is thank you. The letter Y is and in Spanish. And tú is you. Now, those of you who watched the previous video will recall that tú is informal you. Now, you might be wondering, it's a formal conversation, then why are we using informal you? Well, it's because the teacher is talking to you. So the teacher can use informal you with you. So, bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Good, thank you. And you? The conversation comes back to you and you reply, Muy bien, gracias. Very good, thank you. The teacher might say, Ciao, bye. That is an informal bye. It's the teacher who's saying bye to you. Now, when the conversation comes back to you and you say goodbye, then that has to be formal. So you say, Adiós. Let's go over this once more. Buenos días. ¿Cómo está, señorita Jenny? Bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Muy bien, gracias. Ciao. Adiós. Good morning. How are you, Miss Jenny? Good, thank you. And you? Very good, thank you. Bye. Goodbye. Let's have a look at another example. Let's say it is 8 p.m. and there is a conversation going on between your manager and you. Now, the manager can start the conversation in an informal way. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Remember, estás is how are you? ¿Cómo estás? How are you? Informally. Now you reply, Bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? Good, thank you. And you? Please note, usted is the formal you. And when you say in a conversation, thank you and you, well, that's a very common way of continuing with the conversation. Thank you and you. Now, because you are asking your manager, how are you? It has to be y usted and you. So please note, usted is formal you. Now the conversation comes back to the manager. He can reply, Muy bien, gracias. Very good, thank you. You can close the conversation by saying Buenas noches, good night. And the manager can reply, Ciao, buenas noches, bye, good night. So let's go over this once more. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? Muy bien, gracias. Buenas noches. Ciao, buenas noches. Hello, how are you? Good, thank you. And you? Very good, thank you. Good night. Bye, good night. Right. Now that we know this, let's go ahead and have some practice. Práctica. Let's say it is 5 p.m. You see your professor and you want to start a conversation. If you look at these dialogues, they are not in the correct order. You have to put the dialogues in the correct order. Please remember, it needs to have a proper starting with a greeting. It has to continue with thank you and you, and then it needs to have a proper closure to the conversation. So think, how will you put the dialogues in the correct order? Right. You should have thought of Buenas tardes, ¿cómo está? Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Bien, gracias. Chao, hasta pronto. Adiós. Because it is 5 p.m., so it's buenas tardes. The professor might reply, Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Very good, thank you. And you? He can use informal you with you. You can reply, Good, thank you. The professor might say, Ciao, hasta pronto. Bye, see you soon. And you conclude by saying, Adios. Formal goodbye. Now it's repaso or review. So this is the vocabulary or vocabulario for this lesson. Y usted and you, where usted is the formal you. So that's it in this lesson. In the next lesson, we are going to learn how to say thank you and welcome in Spanish. Gracias de nada. So do join us for that lesson. Thank you for watching. Share this video with other Spanish lovers. Like this video. Please leave your feedback and suggestions in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel Good Spanish. Until then, adios.